going.
Get the camera off.
Get the f*** off me!
Oi! What the fuck? It's disgusting what they just did to him.
Alright guys, just when I think that Tosh Peterson, aka that vegan teacher's daughter, is actually getting a little bit of common sense and doing things to avoid getting her in trouble, she just goes and participates in some room temp level IQ activities. Like, I'm talking she cannot help herself but to do something extremely stupid. And it's just always in the supposed name of veganism. And then on top of that, for some reason, she is just always in the most interesting outfit possible. And by that, I mean she is literally out here half fucking naked. And this time around, she posted a video titled "Topless Vegan Arrested at Dairy Cow Show." And I read this and got a little curious, and I did a bit of research on the matter. And when looking into this situation, it turns out that the dairy show that she's mentioning was part of the Perth Royal Show. And if you're a returning viewer to the channel, you may have seen my video a few days ago that involved Tosh here, where she responded to a farmer and discussed her past involvement with this show specifically. And I feel like this next bit of context and this next little clip that I'm about to provide is going to be extremely important for you understanding how absolutely idiotic it was for her to go into disguise and sneak into this show. Because when looking at her last time here, let's just say, it wasn't any better.
Royal Animal Agricultural Show is a week-long animal abuse and exploitation event that runs in Perth, Western Australia every year in September. In 2021, I did a disruption at the Royal Show. I actually went inside and went in the very middle of a cattle judging ring where animals were being exploited and viewed only as objects and food. I spoke out to the audience saying that animal slavery, abuse and murder is immoral. Whilst I was doing the speak out, holding a sign, a farmer came up from behind me and I had no idea he was there. He grabbed me by the back of my collar and the back of my shorts, giving me a massive wedgie and threw me around and pinned me against a fence. The following year, I returned to that very same cattle ring, this time with another animal rights activist, and we handcuffed and chained ourselves to the cattle ring, refusing to leave, once again to speak up for the animals being exploited for human entertainment and pleasure. And you're paying for this rape and abuse and murder if you're not vegan!
So clearly, the massive wedgie that she received just wasn't enough, since she is just so obsessed with coming back to this show just over and over again. Or maybe her weird ass was just into it. I mean, just look at the devious ass smile that she's over here giving the camera, while Unk is just behind her pulling on them trousers. And to be fair, she is half naked in public right now, dressed like a cow. So she's obviously into that freaky deaky type shit, if you know what I'm saying. So I wouldn't be surprised if she is out here just trying to get another wedgie for free. But on top of that, it's also important that you go ahead and take note that at the end of that last clip, you will notice the police were actually there. Which was for a very good reason, by the way, since she ended up getting charged for trespassing and disturbing the peace, with the really important one there being trespassing. Because in this woman's mind, when you get hit with a trespassing charge, the only logical thing to do is to return back to the same place in a freaking disguise. Like you were some type of CIA operator or some shit. And do the same exact thing once again. Like, you literally just can't make this shit up. She is a free content farm. And to make matters even worse, her and her boyfriend have the audacity to act confused on why they are actually in trouble. So with that all covered, let's just go ahead and watch this complete shit show take place together.
Okay, Josh, you're doing it. Okay, we're going.
We'll put on a show, have a chat. I'll teach you a few things.
Cows enslaved in the dairy industry are raped and forcibly impregnated.
So we apparently have Detective fucking Tosh out here in these streets right now. wearing possibly the goofiest outfit that anyone could ever use to try and go undercover. Because these sunglasses right here are just a wild ass choice. And I think the only reason she even got through security is because these people working here don't give a shit. I mean, if anything, it'd be better for them for her to break the trespassing, come out here and get arrested, and then maybe she finally won't come back. When her dumbass realizes that there's not many vegan options in prison. And of course, this outfit was nothing in comparison to the duct tape on the titties. I mean, we are literally tits out for veganism right now. And I don't know why she couldn't have just worn a shirt and painted it in the same way that she did her bare skin. Or why she couldn't just at least wear a bra, since it would have made zero difference in comparison to the 2 little pieces of duct tape that she had over her nipples. And the craziest part is, there are actually children here too, which she should have known there are going to be children here because the baby cows are here just sitting there chilling. And the only reason I think she actually did it like this specifically is so that she could title the video, "Topless Vegan Arrested at Dairy Cow Show." Because that word topless right there is going to bring out all of the horn dogs just coming crawling out of their basements to go ahead and sub to the OnlyFans. And this is a trend throughout all of her videos. She's got to make it sexualized in some way so that she can get all that OnlyFans money. And this is something that I've been pointing out because it shows you her true intentions in a way. And it gives off the impression that she doesn't actually care about the animals that much and would rather take the money. I mean, she's literally posting TikToks, dancing and laying in money, and now for some reason are just randomly missing off her page. So I'm glad I saved them. Or at least I think they're missing. Maybe I missed them, but I looked through that shit a couple times and didn't see it. And if she did take them down, I definitely know why. Because they really showed her true colors. It's almost as if she's all about that paycheck over saving the animals. And this is a claim that I've made before. And I even made it in the last video. And I know she's seen this claim from other people and has definitely just seen it in my video that I just made. And I know this because she commented on the video and just didn't address a single one of the claims that were made against her. And doing shit like this to where you're just out topless with kids around at a little dairy show is just insane. And it absolutely hurts your message on just a different level. Because the parents of these kids and these kids themselves are now going to be against your message because there's some naked lunatic out here painting herself like a cow, screaming like a freaking banshee about fucking cow rape. And even though you give off the impression that you care more about the money than the animals, I'm sure you care somewhat for these animals. And hopefully you care more about them than that poor dog you were having carry you around on a skateboard.
After a 9-month pregnancy, when she gives birth, her baby is kidnapped from her so you can steal her milk. If her baby is born male, he's bludgeoned to death or sent to a slaughterhouse just days to weeks old. These babies should be with their mothers right now drinking their milk. Every year in Australia alone, over 1 million male bobby calves are murdered in the dairy industry. The baby girls endure the same life of slavery, repeated rape and forcible impregnation, and she'll be sent to a slaughterhouse just 4 to 7 years of age. If you're not vegan, you pay for rape, slavery, torture, abuse and murder. Watch Dominion on YouTube for the truth. These babies should be with their mothers, but they're not, so you can have dairy products. Stop supporting this violence.
And yeah, she then proceeds to point at the very content, happy-looking baby cows in the middle as her example saying that they should be with their mother, right? And here's the issue. She chooses to go and protest at the worst possible places. Because instead of going after a big corporation who is actually treating animals poorly and who are often the ones who are actually killing the male baby calves, she goes after an event hosting a ton of local farmers, who are the ones who tend to treat the animals way nicer, and it is in their best interest for the cows to be content, because that way they're going to produce not only more milk, but also much better tasting meat. Because when a cow is raised in an environment of extreme stress, it will produce a tough and tasteless meat. And even with this in mind, the male and female baby calves are often treated in the same way on a lot of these different farms that are local, and they still receive their mother's milk in the first couple weeks. especially the first 48 hours, because it is vital for their immune system. And then milk taken after that is what we end up consuming. And after that, it can often be dangerous for the baby to still be with its mother due to the fact that it can be exposed to harmful bacteria since cows just pretty much shit wherever. And in some cases, the mothers will just accidentally lay on them and suffocate its baby. And then when they are actually taking from the mother, if you just go ahead and look at one of the insides of these local farms, they are given their own personal little shelter and little pen, where they are then monitored to make sure they're getting the proper amount of milk so that their immune system stays strong, and they check to make sure there's no illness. And of course, like I said earlier, this isn't all farms, and she actually has a decent point about killing the male babies at a lot of these bigger farms and all. And eventually they are slaughtered once they're a lot older and after they lived a pretty good life so that we can eat the meat that we do consume. But the farm she's protesting right now at this event are some of the most pampered cows possible. And they are sure as hell living a lot better inside this little nice shelter and pen than they would be out in the wild where a wolf is coming to tear them apart alive. So not only is she protesting in one of the worst ways that she possibly could to drive people away from her cause, but she's also just protesting in the wrong place. Like, what are we doing here? We're tits out at a little fair that has a ton of children at it.
You're responsible for the rape of mothers.
Find out some truth, you dumb bitch.
Okay, so why are the babies separated from their mothers? Why aren't they with their mothers?
They are well and truly looked after.
Why are the babies separated from their mothers and sent to a slaughterhouse?
Because if you...
Sent to a slaughterhouse.
You're going.
Dairy cows are raped and forcibly impregnated. After a 9-month pregnancy, when she gives birth, her baby is kidnapped from her. If he's born male, he's bludgeoned to death or sent to a slaughterhouse just days to weeks old.
Get the camera off him.
Get the fuck off me!
Oi!
Let's go!
Hey!
Oi! What the fuck? What the fuck? This is so wrong.
Get off me. Ash, get off!
Please do
Let go of the camera.
We will comply if
Let
you
go.
do not steal
Let go
our
of me.
property.
Let go of the camera.
We will comply if you do not
I'm
steal our
handing it to the
property.
police.
And she just continues to yell crazy wild things before consequences finally proceed to come. Right after Unc goes ahead and begins to correct her, and rightfully calls her stupid, since she obviously hasn't looked into these farms, and is just yapping about the worst of the worst, which I don't think is at this event, before security come in to actually remove her from the premises. And then her dipshit boyfriend proceeds to just crash the hell out after trying to lie and say he's not with her, as he's one of the only people there with a professional grade camera following them around filming. And bro just gets immediately aggressive and starts doing what I can only call spazzing. So they go ahead and tackle his dumbass to the ground. And I have to give props to him. It seemed like they were really trying not to hurt the guy. They were just trying to get him to stop freaking out so that they could get him into custody and take him to the police. Because again, they weren't supposed to be here. They've been trespassed from this event before. So keep that one last part in mind when we watch the other parts of this clip.
Let go of the property. Let go yourself. Why? It's my property. I haven't done anything.
What the fuck?
What have I done? Tell me what I've done.
Can
You want the
someone
camera?
please
Get the
call the
camera?
police? This
Just
is
don't
so
break it.
wrong,
Don't break it.
please.
Don't break it.
They put him in a headlock. It's disgusting. It's disgusting what they're doing to him. Please, please just get them off him. He didn't do anything wrong. Please, just get them off him. Please, please. Can you please just make sure he's okay? It's disgusting. It's actually disgusting. It's disgusting what they just did to him.
You know better. Like, it's not your first rodeo.
Mother dairy cows are raped and forcibly impregnated. When she gives birth, her babies are kidnapped from her.
Nah, what's disgusting is the fact that you're out here with your fucking titties out with just a piece of duct tape covering your nipple. When once again, I will say for like the third time, there are children here looking at it. That is what is disgusting. Just going out into public showing your melons to children. And then she just immediately tries to play the victim talking about they did nothing wrong when, as we saw earlier in this video, she knows that she's not supposed to be there and brings up her past about how she trespassed here. So she clearly knows what she is doing wrong. And you already know she's just playing the victim, because literally 5 seconds later of pretending to say it's disgusting, she just starts screaming again about the damn cows. And just regarding all of that, she's on the verge of public indecency at that. So there are just a shit ton of things that have been done wrong here. And this is just what she always does. She comes here, causes some type of scene, and then just tries to play the victim. And it's literally every time she does something like this. She complained about the wedgie and tried to be the victim then. She tried to pretend to be the victim when she handcuffed herself to a freaking pen. And now she's trying to be the victim when they go to take her out the event and her boyfriend starts spazzing and crashing out for no reason. And no matter what happens, this lady just never learns her lesson from the consequences that follow. Like, after enough times, you would think you would begin to realize that, hey, maybe I'm just acting like a crazy ass person. And I have nothing against you just being vegan, but you're not gonna go and just push your beliefs on people and do it acting like this. Like, it would be completely fine if you were protesting in a sane manner, or in just a halfway decent manner, right? But no, you choose to do this. You dress like this and do it to yourself. Like, there are even many vegans who are against your crazy ass. And this whole course of events is the true definition of fucking around and finding out. Because you knew exactly what was going to happen when you did this. So in my opinion, her being arrested is 100% deserved. And I just can't believe she was stupid enough to return for the 3rd time expecting a different result. But with all that said, I think I'm done here. And I'm out. Watching the vegan teacher's daughter get herself arrested yet again. And peace.
Find out some truth, you dumb bitch.